Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I want to talk about. Oh, and by the way, the date is January 17th, 2024. Um, it's like 2:43 in the morning, about to be 3 o'clock in the morning. I want to say this right now. Um, when are we ever going to get a Family Guy movie? We already have a Simpsons movie, which I actually like the Simpsons movie. Some people might criticize it, might not like it, but I like it. Better late than ever, to be quite honest with you, with the Simpsons movie. Should have came out in the '90s, right when South Park was doing its shit too. Oh hell yeah. Same thing with Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead did their movies in the '90s too, I believe, right? Right when South Park did it. But the Simpsons did it way before people stopped watching it or thought it was good. So the same thing is going to happen to Family Guy. Um, Not to say I'm not enjoying the new episodes of Family Guy, I actually am. And some people might say, "Oh, Family Guy is just for potheads now," and I'm over here like, "And become a pothead. Maybe you enjoy the show more. You actually, I don't know, appreciate a little bit more things in life. That's just me. Than you talking shit about a bad episode of Family Guy that's going to ruin your life and talk shit on the internet and rant like crazy just because one episode of Family Guy or a couple of episodes of Family Guy that you hate. You know, I don't know. Always take the good with always take the good when with the bad, basically. Look more of the good stuff, look more of the positive stuff, and leave the bullshit alone. That's what I've been doing nowadays, man. And I've been enjoying a lot of shit lately, man. So, if there ever is a Family Guy movie, what should it be? Should it be live action or animation? Me, I don't mind if we get a live action Family Guy. Not to say if it's animation. If it is animation, I wouldn't mind. But there is a Family Guy movie. It's just an extension of the more of the episode when Stewie finds his older self, and he thinks that's his dad, but it's not his dad; it's him from the future. That's the movie that we got. It's a pretty good movie, but I really don't consider that as a Family Guy movie, mainly because it never came out in theaters or none of that. It's almost like saying the South Park movies that were released to DVD are considered movies. They're movies, but not movies. Like not like theatrical movies that you literally are looking at like bigger, longer, and uncut, basically, because that is a movie. For example, Imagination Land is you could to me I do consider Imagination Land a sequel to Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Not to say even though it's a TV movie, I still enjoyed Imagination Land and other movies that South Park has done. But at the same time, I still would like to have a South Park movie theatrically one day. The only I did hear that the creators that said that they were like, hey, if we ever do it one day, it would have to be the last time we ever do South Park, you know. And they know South Park is not going to go away anytime soon. So I think the only time we will see that with South Park is when Matt and Trey Parker are so old to the point that no one else can do this but us. So let's just do this and be on our way. And it's true. The only people that can do this is the creators. What do you think the whole thing with Looney Tunes happened and haven't got anything with Looney Tunes? Well, actually, we have. It's just people that complain with the new Looney Tunes stuff, or it's either like the Looney Tunes show, which is actually pretty good and funny, or the modern Looney Tunes that doesn't have guns, but yet it has a knife, a scythe, and freaking torturing the Looney Tune characters. I think that's freaking awesome. Because they were like, we can't have guns. Well, you know what? We're doing this. Make it more fucked up. How do you like that? You know? And it's sad that people didn't look at those new Looney Tunes stuff to be like, oh my god, they're actually doing something new and creative, and to the point that you actually want to see more of it. And I hope they really do more of that style of Looney Tunes. And eventually they will bring the guns back and all that stuff, duh. But you mean to tell me that you're gonna riot over some guns that they're not Looney Tunes, but yet they have a scythe still, a freaking machete, and freaking grenades and shit like that, and hammers? Come on, guys. Come on. It's still Looney Tunes. You're just upset because you don't see Elmo Fudd having a shotgun. too fucking bad. Put some big boy, put some big boy and big girl pants on and grow the fuck up and walk away because you act like a fucking goddamn child. Seriously, you act like a fucking child. But going back to Family Guy, what I want a Family Guy movie? Yeah, I don't mind. I would love to have a Family Guy movie. With the recent the Ted series, I'm looking at the Ted series and I'm all like, this is literally Family Guy just with Ted, and it's shot in a way as Family Guy too. If you know Seth MacFarlane's style, then you probably wouldn't mind the Ted series or even the Family Guy series right now, even though he's not part of Family Guy, right now. I think he left in 2008 or 2017. I forgot when he left, but he left a while ago. Um, so there is that. I have heard that American Dad is being a lot better than Family Guy, but I haven't watched American Dad in a while too. So hey, maybe we should talk about where we ever get an American Dad movie. In my opinion, if we do have a Family Guy movie, I think you need to have the Cleveland family there and also the Smith family there as cameos, not being as the main character. Although, if you wanted to, you can have Cleveland, Seth, not Seth MacFarlane, but the dad from American Dad, and Peter all together to make one big movie. You could do that, and I don't mind if it's animation. I don't mind if it's animation, to be quite honest with you, because live action would be a lot. It would be a lot because you need to build the set of the neighborhood and everything like that. So doing a movie of animation would be fine. The South Park movie was animation, and so was the Simpsons movie, and so was the Beavis and Butthead movie. So I wouldn't mind if the Simpsons movie is um what is it? I don't mind if the Simpsons movie is animation, but what should the story be? I did point it out with the whole, you know, the Smith family and Peter and Cleveland family, joining forces to fight something or some shit like that, or just being comedic altogether. But we could get, the more I see a Family Guy movie is that they're just going to use Brian and Stewie if they make a Family Guy movie. I could see that more happening. I don't. The thing is though, I kind of don't want that because we've seen Brian and Stewie have so many adventures already to the point that I'm just like, could we have an adventure with the family instead? And please don't mock the Simpsons movie to the point that's like, oh, Peter does something so crazy that Lois leaves him, and then eventually he does something so Lois can fall in love with him again, kind of like in the Simpsons movie. The Simpsons movie did it great. Don't copy the Simpsons. Do something new. Do something new. You don't have to do the whole thing. Peter does something stupid, and Lois gets mad. We saw that also in the live action Flintstones movie. We don't have to see it again. We don't. We seen it in the Simpsons in the live action Flintstones movie. We don't have to see it again. What I will make up is either two things. The thing is, Family Guy has done this, and they should have made it into a theatrical movie. Parodies of movies. They parody Star Wars, and that was terrific in my opinion. To me, I consider that as a movie, not a theatrical movie, but I consider that as like one of the Family Guy movies, in my opinion. I just think it's that really fun and that really good. So Seth MacFarlane is good when he does parodies like that. Um, because you could tell Seth MacFarlane he just wants to do new stuff. He doesn't want to do Family Guy anymore. Um, but and the thing is, it would be kind of fucked up if there is a Family Guy movie, he doesn't write it. He's just there to just do the voices and leaves. Um, who knows? Maybe if one day he's just scratching that itch, if he has that itch one day for Family Guy, who knows? Maybe people in the back of the studio will be like, just make this as a movie, man. Hell yeah, we need this as a movie. We. And again, going back, what should the story should be? It should be with the family going on an adventure together to the point that they question their whole family. That'd be that'd be something. Something that would give the family depth to the point that we're like, wait a minute, why do we hang out with each other? Why do we love each other? We never actually pointed that out to the point that, hey, should we even be with each other anymore? Something like that. Something that you see in Scooby Doo, the live action one, the first movie, but not to the extent what Scooby Doo does, like them separating and then come back later. No, not that. But them thinking of like, do we actually want to hang out with each other for the rest of our lives? Something like that. Something like that. And I think that would be more engaging because the characters are getting older. So is what is it? Chris and Meg are getting older to the point that eventually they have to think for themselves of like, do I even want to hang out with this family when I get older and not see you guys anymore? You know? And then Brian can point out that he's getting older too, and he's not going to be here forever either. And then Stewie could point out too that he's getting older, and eventually when he gets old enough, Brian won't be here, and his two siblings won't be in the house anymore. He'd be the only child. And there was a little gag thing that Peter said, "Hey, you think we should get a divorce, Lois?" And Lois is just like, "Let's just get Stewie to college, and we could take it from there." Stuff like that. I'm just like, you can bring all of this stuff together and make a movie and talk about those type of topics. Not to say you can't be comedic or anything like that, but bring those topics up to make the movie feel like, hey, there's actually weight here. There's actually something that and the thing is, you can make a movie about nothing. You could make a movie about nothing. You can make a Family Guy movie about nothing. And to be honest, I don't mind that. There's movies out there that are literally about nothing, and you're like, that's really how it ends? Yo, what the hell? But they have stuff in those movies to the point that you'll be like, okay, it's actually pretty fun, you know? So, Burn After Reading does that, and so does the Big Lebowski, and so does Seinfeld. All of those three medias, they do all of those things well, and I think Family Guy, the movie, can actually do that really well. Um, or maybe it'd be something like this, like they doing the show of Family Guy. Now it's getting canceled, and they can make it as a movie. You know, even though they've done episodes like that before. It's just something that I'm throwing at the wall. But I think the first one sounds really good, really, really better. Um, Again, the third option is just having Brian and Stewie be the main characters of the Family Guy movie, and them just going on misadventures. But I'm like, we've seen those episodes already. At that point, you could just put those episodes together and just extend them. Kind of like what you did with Stewie when he found out his older self was out there. So um, that's just me as a Family Guy fan. And I just wish that, hey, if we do get a Family Guy movie, I'm just hoping that it's good as a South Park movie and the Simpsons movie and the Beavis and Butthead movie. To be quite honest with you, I just hope that the people that will make the Family Guy movie look at these movies and be like, okay, these movies have everything in common, and we need to do something with that. You know, Beavis and Butthead has its ridiculousness. South Park has its story structure, but also pays parody of a lot of stuff. And the Simpsons one is literally just a long feature of the TV show, what stuff is happening to the city, to the neighborhood, which I think you can do very well if you make a whole movie of Family Guy about the family, yes, but also about the neighborhood as well. You know, so that's something that I always wanted South Park to do. They have done that in their shows, but as a second movie, I would love, Matt and Trey Parker are just going to be like, yeah, you know what? We're going to make a movie all about the about the neighborhood and everything like that, because the whole neighborhood is a character in itself, and people that are in it. So over time, when you look at South Park, the creators have realized, oh, we can make anybody a main character. So that's the reason why we got Butters, to begin with. They were like, hey, we can make anyone a main character. Let's use Butters. And that's why Butters became so popular and so famous. I used to hate Butters. I guarantee you, when I was a kid, I despised Butters. I did not care for Butters. I didn't. The reason I didn't care for Butters is because they killed Kenny off and they replaced him with Butters, and I was just like, you're making me hate Butters. Stop that. But then eventually I started liking Butters, and then eventually Kenny came back, and I'm like, Kenny, and then I'm like, oh, Butters, we missed you. So I can literally see that. Literally, if they made another South Park movie, they would put Butters right in there. I remember seeing the documentary to the South Park Big on Longer on Uncut movie, and they were like, oh, Butters, he would have been part of this whole movie. He would have been part of this whole group. And I'm like, yo, for real, if this movie was made in modern days, Butters would have been part of that shit, be part of the group's fiasco and stuff like that. It would have been great. But that's something that they could do in the South Park sequel if they ever make a sequel to the theatrical movie if it comes out theatrically. So moving on with Family Guy. Um, Anything else I could talk about Family Guy? You could do the time traveling thing, but they've done that so many times. I think it would probably be redundant if they did it again. Maybe if they do something new with it. The reason I mentioned the whole time traveling thing and different dimensions and all that is because that is a thing now. In movies, and no, and I know a lot of people don't want to see that stuff and all that. We've seen it so many times, but in a spiritual enlightenment way, there's a reason why they're showing it. So you got to pay attention. All right. If you're sick and tired of all these different dimension movies, then guess what? It's too fucking bad because Hollywood is trying to tell you something in a spiritual enlightenment way, and you're not listening. You're not listening. You're just looking at it for entertainment, and that's fucking sad. Because the more eventually, once you get that it's not entertainment, they stop making those movies. There you go. There you go. All right. You want them to stop making those movies? Then get what they fucking putting on the screen, and then you can move the fuck on. Seriously, there's the reason why they keep making movies like that because they want to plant it in your freaking skull so much to be like, guys, this is real. This is real. This is real. Are you good? Could we move on? You still don't think it's real? Well, we're going to keep making movies about it, motherfucker. It's almost like these superhero movies. You guys get sick and tired of it. Well, guess what? We're going to keep making them until you get in your thick skull that this shit is real. Same thing with the Godzilla movies. Some people point out that, oh, I don't want the monsterverse to be redundant like the superhero ones and all that shit. And I'm like, well, then you better get the fucking goddamn story. You better get what the monsterverse is in the spiritual enlightenment way, or else they're just going to keep making it to the point that you're sick of it. And I'm just like, well, do you know what it is in the spiritual enlightenment way? No. Well, then guess what? They're going to keep making it until you fucking figure it out. Seriously, that's how it is. That's how it is in Hollywood. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. And some of these directors, there's a reason why all these directors are doing it because they're trying to tell you a message. But that's another video for another day. So, anyways, I just hope that if there ever is a Family Guy movie, I just hope it's really good, really engaging, really funny, and to the point that hey, we could see something great. You know, am I holding my breath with it? Probably. But at the same time, guys, if you're enjoying some of the stuff that you see in Family Guy now, it's it's funny too because I saw one of the recent episodes of Family Guy and The Simpsons, and one episode Lois and Peter had sex and all that stuff, and then another episode you see Homer and Marge having sex on this in the beach too, both of them, and I'm over here like, you guys are copying from each other, aren't you? Hey, it's not the first time animators copy from one another, you know. Really? What's your example? Looney Tunes copying from Disney, and Disney copying from Looney Tunes. It's been happening since the beginning of animation. It's not going to stop at all just because you hate it. you know, it's never gonna stop. Especially if the same animators were friends and then they split their ways to do other projects. They're gonna pay winks to each other as a respect and as a respect to the animation industry, only for the people that can get it. The regular people, they won't get that stuff. They just be like, why are they doing that? It's because it's basically a respect to other animators that helped them along the way, but also looking at them, being like, yo, you made it fall like I did. I love you, man. We both did it. It's like that. So that's how I always see like that. You need to pay attention to stuff like that. But hey, if you don't, that's fine. I'm not telling you stupid or anything like that. I'm just saying that that's what I notice. And if you have noticed that, then you deserve an animation cookie, a big one, a big animated cookie, and a big sexy animated wife that either looks like Android 18 or Jessica Rabbit. Seriously. But I think that's it, guys. Yeah, that's it. If there's a Family Guy movie, animation or live action, I just hope it's fun. I just hope it's good. I just hope it's batshit insane. Also, to the point that it's like you have to watch this movie. You have to watch this movie because like there's no reason. for you not to watch it because it's just that shit insane, you know? Or hey, look, I don't want a Family Guy movie to be so bad that it's good. Yes, you can watch it and point fingers at it and be like, oh my god, and it's still fun and all that, but I still want a Family Guy movie that is respectful to the point that hey, we love what we do, you know. Hey, to be honest, I've been wanting a Robot Chicken movie for years. For years, I've been wanting a Robot Chicken movie. Will it ever happen? I don't know. I don't know. I want a Robot Chicken movie. I really do. At this point, they should already made one, in my opinion, but they didn't. They just made like highlight episodes or chunks of episodes that they took time with and all that stuff. I guess you can consider those movies, right? But but theatrical at least, you know. So, what do you guys think? Should they be a Family Guy movie? Do you think that hey, if this is a Family Guy movie, what story would you want? Would you want to take the Stewie and Brian route, the family route, or something else? You know, um, me, I'm all with the family group because that's where sometimes it does best. Wouldn't it be hilarious though if they made a Family Guy movie, right? And then automatically two things. Meg is like the most important character out of nowhere that she has to, or, help the family and shit. Or two, Meg is like the final boss. Like something happens to her and she becomes like wicked and evil and shit like that. And the family guy and the the Griffins need to like help her and like shit like that. Even though they picking fun of her, but at the same time, it's like no, we need to save her. Um, just different things. I just think it's hilarious. Like they could make Meg into like a final boss or something like that. That's what they did with Kenny in the Stick of Truth. I'm like, Kenny is the final boss to Stick of Truth. Perfect. I think that's genius. Having Kenny as the final boss for Stick of Truth. It's just at first I was like, no, but at the same time, as a South Park fan, I'm like, oh, you guys could help yourselves. You love Kenny that much that you were like, yes, final boss. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. I do not blame you. I would have made Kenny the final boss too in that game. And by the way, we need a Family Guy game too, a modern Family Guy game. Yeah, we do. We do. I wouldn't mind to have a new Family Guy game because the ones on the PS3 that came out, I didn't play them. I would have loved to play them. Hey, look at this! Look at this. When the Simpsons movie came out, we got a Simpsons movie tie-in video game. I don't know how good it is. I know some. Well, from what I've heard, it's not good as hit and run, but it's still good enough for you to play as a as a South Park. I mean, as a Simpsons fan to play it, and you probably will still have a good time. You know. So yeah, that's really it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If if you guys don't want a Family Guy movie, that's fine. But I would like to have one. I would. I do feel like we probably should have had one a long time ago. Um, but hey, man, if Ted is the only thing that we can get from Seth MacFarlane right now, and not a Family Guy movie, that's fine. That's fine. Um, at least we get all fixed with Ted, and I love that little bear. How can you hate him? So kind of loud, it's a bear that smokes weed and curses and likes to fuck. I think anyone would want to hang out with that bear. So I'll see you guys later and be safe. And tell me what you guys think about my ideas with the Family Guy movie. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or do you think you should add something on it? I don't mind. Add a top add on it. And what would you like to see in the Family Guy movie? Wouldn't it be hilarious if the Family Guy movie is just about the chicken and Peter just fighting, destroying the whole world, and them just shaking hands like Tom and Jerry, and then that I wouldn't mind as a movie, to be quite honest with you. Peter versus the chicken, the epic movie, Family Guy, the epic movie. I wouldn't even mind seeing that shit. I wouldn't mind. I literally would not mind. Be like a Tom and Jerry parody, them killing each other to the point that they destroy the world, destroy the galaxy, destroy the universe, and then they reset everything, and they look at each other, shake hands, and they, that's it. I will watch that. I would watch that. But we need a good story structure for that to happen. But again, it's supposed to be a parody like Tom and Jerry, right? So really, Tom and Jerry doesn't really have a story. It just has something to branch off for the characters to do something to each other, you know. And then it's like the maker, and it's like the animators are like, oh, would it be funny if this happened to Tom or Jerry or something like that, you know? So I wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind. Wouldn't it be awesome if the chicken was the final boss or something like that? If to a Family Guy movie or video game, um, any of those would make sense. To be quite honest with you. So I'll see you guys and be safe. And yo, I'm gonna point this out right now. Wouldn't it be great if we had a Family Guy movie but with the same animation as Disney, like we saw in that one episode? I would not mind it at all. But it would have been expensive like a motherfucker. You know it does. You know that one scene when Stewie and Brian look like Disney characters. That you knew that probably cost a fortune just to animate. One of the reasons why it didn't last that long, because Disney animation is expensive as fuck, expensive, man. But hey, you can do it. You can do it. Warner Brothers has done it, and it's paid off for them a lot. Um, But yeah, I'll see you guys. I don't want to keep going the way it is. I just had more thoughts on my on this video about the Family Guy movie, so I just close it off here. I'll see you guys, and let me know what you think about this video.